Hey everybody, Chris here. So, can you retire on Dogecoin? We're going to explore that in this video. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel. Hit that little notification bell. You can be notified when my new videos come out, as well as when I do live streams. I'll be live again Monday at 5 o'clock East Coast time. So, do tune in for that. So, as crazy as it might seem, Dogecoin could be part of a retirement portfolio. That's right. Retiring on Dogecoin. We're going to take a look at some of the numbers and also look at what kind of the difference might be between Dogecoin and some other cryptocurrencies. Again, to be part of a larger portfolio, because you don't want to ape all into Dogecoin and only be Dogecoin. Well, you could, but that's a little risky too. So let's go ahead. Let's take a closer look. I'll show you what I'm looking at. So I'm a little older than most of you guys and gals, so I'm already thinking about a lot of this retirement stuff, but some of you want to retire early as well. And we'll be looking at this, but I mean, here's something I saw on Reddit, right? I'm planning on holding, not selling Doge for years to come, even when it hits $1. Is anyone else planning on doing the same? And there's this answer here. While I have an actual retirement plan, Doge and other cryptos are my miracle retire early plan. And someone else says me too. So yeah, this can be life-changing wealth. Yes, we're talking about wealth building on this channel, and now I'm tying it into retirement as well. Could there be retirement? I mean, so we'll look at Dogecoin here and how that fits in, but also, James at Invest Answers had this thing on Solana, right? And it's like, retire on Solana. Well, I guess it all depends on where you buy in, right? Because if you look at, the history of Solana, you could have bought back in 2020 at like $2, but you also could have bought in after the big FTX dump there in December of 2022. And you could have gotten in right around $10, maybe just a little less before it started going up. And even last summer, maybe $15, $16 on a dip. And now it's $150. But one thing to look at with Solana, and is Solana really going to have a huge run going forward? I mean, it already did a 10x, over the last 8-9 months. And we look at the market cap of Solana, and the market cap already eclipsed what its previous market cap was, because there's so many more Solana tokens. So you always have to look at sort of how more new tokens are created. A lot of people complain about Dogecoin and its inflation. Well, look at Solana. Solana already eclipsed its previous market cap, but didn't eclipse its previous price. So there's just something to compare it to. And you can also look at Bitcoin too, right? And Bitcoin, same thing. It's like, here's the maximum price of Bitcoin. It's already eclipsed its previous all-time high from 2021, and as well as its market cap. So it's way up here in market cap. But again, we look at Doge, and Doge is still way down here compared to its previous all-time high. I mean, I know that previous all-time high was based on like a big hype, but it was actually there, as well as in market cap. It was still way down, 20 billion versus 80 billion. So that's a 4x just to get back to there. So that's what we're talking about, and possibilities of gains. Now, I've looked at mine, and again, Dogecoin is just part of a bigger portfolio I have. I've got a 401k plan that I still put like every month in, and my employer matches that. So I've got that, and I've got some real estate, a few stocks, but most everything else I've put into crypto because of the much larger gains that are possible with crypto, as long as you don't buy at the all-time high, right at the top of a bull market, which is why in the past year we've been talking about accumulating at a lower price. So here's what I did. I put this together. So I've taken all of my Doge and I've averaged it now. Now I know I'm at an average of 0.656. That's my average for all my Doge. I bought in back here right before the second big run that happened here at the end of January at 2 cents. Bought a bunch of that Doge, held it all the way up and all the way down. But then I've been accumulating 2023 and even in 2024. I have still been buying on the dips because I believe there's going to be a much bigger run. So for every $1,000 invested at this average, a sell price at 31 cents, let's say, would be a profit of $3,722, right? So if you only put 1,000 in, that's not life-changing. That's not going to do anything. But multiply that by 10 and you put in 10,000, right? Then that's $37,000 profit. If this is $100,000 invested, if you're able to invest that much into Doge, this is just Doge now. Again, I own other cryptocurrencies as well. I don't have it all in Doge, but it's just Doge. Then you're talking about $370,000 profit. Now that's getting into decent money. That's getting into decent money, but that's only if Doge goes up to 31 cents. What if Doge goes up to its previous all-time high, 73 cents, right? Then for every $1,000 invested with an average buy price of, I'm just looking at my average buy price, then we're talking about $10,000 profit. That's profit based on that investment, right? Again, multiply that by 10. $10,000 invested, that's $100,000. But if it's $100,000 invested, then that's $1 million. Now we're talking, right? This is what we're talking about. This is the kind of stuff that I'm looking at. Of course, we can talk about, Dogecoin to $1, Dogecoin to $3, $7, and even crazier numbers. But again, at a longer term, like longer outlook, these might not be out of the question. These prices may not be out of the question. We don't know what's going to happen to Doge longer in the future. So it's not unreasonable to think about those kinds of numbers. But again, this is compared to if you're just looking at stocks at like 10% a year on average, year over year over year, how long would you have to wait to have these types of returns? Never. I mean, never. If Doge does this, of course, we don't know that. Doge can go on a crazy run, though. And we're also looking at the 4-year cycles. So that would be taking profits 2024 into 2025, and then maybe doing something safe, at a fixed rate for a short period of time, maybe a year or so, let the bear market do its thing, and then buy back in. You can start doing things like that for longer time horizons. Now for retirement, what can you do? Well, this is I Trust Capital. Now, I am not affiliated with that. There are other YouTubers that are, but I'm not. But there are ways you can start putting money in for IRA retirement accounts. Because what happens is on these big profits here, when I take that money out and I sell the Dogecoin because I'm going to be using it, let's say in retirement, right? Then I have to pay the capital gains taxes on these. But there are ways that you can tuck into some IRA retirement accounts, right? And so you can save the tax you have to pay on those gains. Now, I don't use this, so I don't know exactly how it works, but you can take a look at I Trust Capital as one of those things. And of course, buying Dogecoin, you can do a self-directed IRA or solo 401ks. If it's just you, there are ways to do that as well. So things to look at if you're really looking at having crypto, and particularly now we're talking Dogecoin, into some kind of retirement type account where you can save on the profits. It's too late for me on the profits. I already have my 401k. So everything that I'm doing now with Doge, every time I do a sale, I'm going to have to pay that capital gains. So what I'm trying to make sure is I own that Doge for at least 12 months, 1 year here in the United States. So it's a long-term capital gains tax as opposed to a short-term capital gains tax. But you can look at where we're going from here. So 10 years ago, if you put $100 into Dogecoin, what would it be worth now, right? Well, in 2024, you would have been up, 230,000%, right? That's huge. Again, if you had bought back in 2014, now we're in 2024. Back in 2014, Doge was like 0.0002, right? Now, around 16 cents, we don't know where Doge is going to be 10 years from now. There's no way you can predict that. So buying in now, what are going to be the gains going forward? We don't know. But that's the kind of fun thing that you can, like, again, the past doesn't necessarily mean that that's going to happen again in the future, but yeah, that's looking at a bigger time horizon. You don't know. You don't know what the percentage gains are going to be. Again, the banks aren't going to help you, right? No one's going to help you but you. You got to make these decisions on your own. There's risks, of course, with cryptocurrency. We're talking about a lot about that on this channel. But to have part of your portfolio into something that can see huge gains, I don't see what's wrong with that. I'm doing it. So I love this meme here. Works 40 years to have $1 million at retirement. And then finds out his grandson made $1 million off Doge with his Christmas money. So it's like, that's the kind of thing that can happen, right? You could do slow and steady for your entire career, and even $1 million now isn't what it used to be, right? It isn't what it used to be. If the price of real estate's so high, the price of everything going up, that's what you have to be careful of. So here we are talking about Doge. This is its history of trading in terms of price. Of course, we know the United States dollar is inflating. So, $1 million today isn't the same as it was 10 years ago. And 10 years from now, $1 million probably isn't going to seem to be so much. So those are the kinds of things planning for. But Dogecoin can be part of your retirement. And there are the possibility of these huge gains that can happen. And looking again at the 4-year cycles, we don't know how it's all going to play out in the future. But this is what I'm doing. I'm just telling you what I'm doing. There are other options here. But having some Doge in your portfolio can't hurt. Some of these other cryptos have already started runs, are already up high. Doge hasn't gone on that big run yet. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think about retiring on Dogecoin? Give the video a like if you haven't already. Please subscribe to my channel. I appreciate the support. We'll see you next time.